Stop making that surprised face. It is so annoying.
Yeah, you can't possibly be that surprised all the time.
What's with that bitch?
Don't call me that.
You guys. Oh, stop acting like you're so nice. You are so fake.
There she goes, playing the victim again.
What are you doing?
Getting receipts. Gonna edit this later.
I would very much like to be excluded from this narrative.
Shut up! Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today, as you can tell, I'm channeling my inner Taylor Swift. I created this look based off of her Ringmaster character from her new music video, Look What You Made Me Do. I hope you guys are excited to see because this is actually a collab with a bunch of my friends here on YouTube. We've got Amber Scholl, Asia Jackson, Madison Miller up in the house, Spankie Valentine. We got a whole crew of girls up in here creating different Taylor Swift characters. So I hope you guys are excited to see my video, and make sure to check out everybody's videos as well because, like I said, we're all doing different characters, so yeah, should be fun. I thought that it would be like a really nice little intro into Halloween makeup tutorials this year. I've got a lot of fun Halloween makeup tutorials coming, and I'm super excited for those, honestly. But yeah, I just thought I would do this for a little Halloween fun, or anytime you want to look like Taylor Swift. Subscribe to my channel before we get in, hit that little subscribe button, and also hit the little bell if you want to be notified of all of my videos. And let's go ahead and get started. I'll show you guys how I created this look inspired by Taylor Swift Ringmaster Edition. So starting off, I'm just going to go ahead and prime my skin with the Smashbox Photofinish Hydrating Primer. This is a really good primer for keeping your skin looking nice and moisturized. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start kind of patting that into the skin so that it gets tacky and that our foundation has a really nice surface to stick onto. Then I think I'm gonna go with the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte for foundation. This is a really nice mattifying foundation, and I feel like Taylor Swift always rocks a nice matte finish for her skin. And then for eyebrows, I kind of want to keep them more on the light side. You don't have to worry too much about them because we are going to be wearing a wig, or at least I'm going to be wearing a wig, so my face is going to be a little bit covered, especially here because the wig has bangs on it, so I'm Gucci on that respect. Honestly, I already tried to film this video once and it just turned out so horrible because I tried to do the full-on covered eyebrows, glue, bald looking at first, draw on the eyebrows. The eyebrows didn't look bad, they just did not look like Taylor Swift's. Like, I'll be real, it was really difficult to create Taylor Swift's actual look or brow look because her brows are a lot thinner than mine. So yeah, it was crazy. Honestly, it was a sight to see. I'm gonna go in with my Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in the shade Caramel. This is a bit of a lighter shade and it's a bit warmer. I feel like Taylor's brows are actually a little bit on the warm side most of the time, at least most of the pictures that I saw, so that is what I'm gonna be doing. Once I've got those brows filled in, I do actually wanna go in with a brow gel that's tinted a little bit lighter just to kind of mask the black brows, you know, because I feel like it's gonna look kind of strange with my natural brow color and then a blonde wig. So this is the Essence Make Me Brow Eyebrow Gel Mascara, and I'm using the shade Soft Brownie Brows. This is just gonna tint your brows a tiny bit, but I think it really does make a difference when you look at the completed look at the very end. But we are going to move to the eyes now. I'm very excited about this eye makeup look because it's gonna be Taylor Swift, but like amplified, you know what I mean? So what should I do first? I can never find that one brush I'm looking for. So I'm just gonna take my MAC Cosmetics Soft Ochre Paintpot and just kind of buff it into the lid so we get a nice blank canvas for the makeup look that we're gonna be doing. And you guys know the drill. We're just gonna set down that eye primer with Anastasia Beverly Hills Blanc and just go directly down from the brow bone, blending towards the lid. We're ready. We are ready for this eye makeup look. I'm super excited, honestly, because I feel like Taylor always has this really gorgeous kind of like cat eye shape no matter what types of shadow she's wearing. She always keeps that cat eye going. So I'm actually gonna go into this palette. This is a really old palette of mine, as you can see, very tattered down here, but I'm gonna take, oh, these are all Makeup Geek shadows. I am gonna take this guy right here, which I believe is Creme Brulee. Yes, I was right. I like to start with the side here, and I'm not gonna take these shadows up too high today. I wanted to create more of like a cat eye slim down effect. Then I'm going to pick up the shade Mocha on a MAC 217 brush and kind of just create the same shape. So I'm really focusing on winging this shadow out, but I am keeping this one a little bit tighter than the shade we had down before so that we can start to create that gradient. I feel like you guys know this by now because I feel like I'm always talking about this gradient. I'm always like, the gradient, gotta create the gradient. But basically what I'm trying to say is like you want to blend your shadows together, starting from the lightest and then working your way to the darkest shades. And then once you blend a little bit out and have less product on the brush, you can start to move the brush slightly more out, slightly more in, up into this crease area, just kind of moving the product around once you have less on the brush. And you want to keep that first blending brush on hand, the one that we use the transition shade with. So this is the Morphe M573 that I'm using. I really love this brush for this particular step because it has this like really nicely tapered point to it. Do you see that? Do you see that? So I just like to like really lightly blend out these edges, and you can see I have such a light grip that I'm only holding the brush from like the very tip of it, and I just like to continue to kind of like wing out this shadow so that it maintains its shape. Now for the black, I personally don't recommend Makeup Geek's black because it's very pigmented, very buttery, but honestly it's almost too pigmented and too buttery for my preference because you do get a lot of fallout. So I'm gonna go in with MAC Cosmetics Carbon, or is this called Carbon Black? Makeup Geek I think is called Carbon Black, MAC is called Carbon. So MAC Carbon is what I'm going to be using. It's slightly less pigmented, but you definitely get less fallout as well. And I'm okay with it being less pigmented for this step because I just kind of want a nice blend, you know? I just want a nice little blended out V cat eye. We're just going to go in and keep the shade very close to the lash line at first, and following that same technique as I was telling you guys before, where you apply most of the product where you want the deepest pigmentation, and then once you have some of the shadow off of the brush, you can go ahead and start to blend this black up into this crease area. But again, you definitely want to start at the lash line and then blend upwards so that you get the most seamless blend possible. There's nothing worse than starting with a dark color right in the crease and having to blend downwards. It makes it so much more difficult. Like honestly, y'all don't want to do it. I've tried before because you guys know I'm self-taught, so there was a lot of trial and error in my makeup artistry learning process. So take it from me. Much easier to start from the bottom and then work your way up when you're working with blacks. Now always keep your other brushes on deck, just so they're there, you know? These are your tools. These are what's gonna help you get through this eye makeup look seamlessly. So you always want to have them ready to go to blend out those edges. And then once you build up that black, we're just gonna go back in with Anastasia Blanc and just kind of set that middle part, or the inside part I would say, the part that doesn't have the shadow on yet. So this is the same shadow that we had on there before that we used to set the primer, and I just want to kind of clean up the lid with this guy. Keep those other blending brushes on deck so that you can go in and blend out all the edges. I think honestly that's like the key to eyeshadow, is just taking the time to blend everything out. Boom. Gradient. This is what I'm talking about, guys. When I always talk about this gradient, this you know, this thing that I'm all like legit, I feel like in every video I always talk about this gradient thing, and there it is, the gradient that we're looking for. I'm gonna take a little bit of glitter now. Ooh, I know. Exciting stuff. This is the glitter that I'm going to be using. It's MAC Cosmetics Reflex Gold Glitter. It is such a beautiful glitter. Like, if you are a glitter lover, if you are an eyeshadow lover in general, you need this in your life, and I'll show you why right now. So I'm going to be sticking it onto my lid with the MAC Cosmetics Mixing Medium Gel. And I'm just going to kind of pat this onto the eyelid right where we're gonna put that glitter down, and this is really gonna help the glitter stick to our eyelids, or the glitter, wait for it, just wait for it. Oh. It's so beautiful. It's like a pearly glitter, but it has reflex of gold. So when you turn your head, that's when you get the gold. Oh, I die. I think this is my favorite glitter of all time. And I was looking at a bunch of Taylor's eye makeup looks, and I feel like she always does this very beautiful, like, kind of pearlescent shade in the inner corner, or like the middle of the eye to the inner part. So that's kind of what I wanted to recreate with this, but just to make it a little bit more spectacular, a little bit more extra, I thought I would use this glitter. You could also do this with shimmer shades if you don't have a glitter that you want to use, which I feel like is kind of what Taylor usually does. But if you're gonna be wearing this for Halloween, girl, go for it. You do that glitter up. You do it up. Whoo, 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 those eyes. I'm feeling them. I want to clean up this shadow line, so we're gonna go straight into concealer and then we'll come back for liner and mascara and lashes and everything. So this is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Macadamia, and I just like to go ahead and apply this underneath the eyes. Ooh, I'm running out here. I'm running a little low on my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. Once I get over to this area over here, we're gonna use the concealer to actually clean up the edge of this eyeshadow. I like to take that edge straight out, just so that it falls like almost right underneath where the brow bone ends, or the brow, not the brow bone. Try to cover up this pimple. I have the biggest zit that is forming underneath the skin. You know those ones that you can't see it yet? Like, I'm sure you guys won't be able to notice it, but for me, I feel it. Like, it's throbbing almost. Like, I can feel it growing by the second. So I'm over here like, let me try to finish this tutorial. This is a fierce Taylor Swift look, you know what I'm trying to say? I once tried to do a Taylor Swift transformation, and by once I mean literally yesterday, and it went so terribly wrong. Like, it was not good. So then I decided to do more of just a look inspired by Taylor Swift, like Taylor Swift's eye shape makeup, the way that she does her makeup and everything. So I am completely aware that I personally do not look like Taylor Swift, but it's just kind of like a look inspired by the makeup that she was wearing, or at least what I could see of the makeup that she was wearing as the ring bearer, and just generally like the type of makeup that she wears. And once I've got that concealer on, I'm just gonna go ahead and take my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder on my beauty blender, and I want to just go ahead and set this under eye area, even right under that wing. And while that's baking, I'm actually gonna go back in with my liner. So this is the NYC Liquid Liner, and I'm just gonna create a wing following the shape of this wing that we've created with the shadows. And I've noticed that Taylor a lot of times brings this part into a bit of a cat eye. So I'm just gonna take some of that same MAC Carbon eyeshadow, the black, and just kind of extend our wing. It's coming along. For my mascara, you guys know this is my favorite mascara in the entire world, Voluminous Lash Paradise from L'Oreal. And then for lashes, if you haven't guessed already, we're gonna try to stick with that very nice, you know, winged out shape. So I'm gonna go in with my House of Lashes Iconics. These are the normal Iconics, the more voluminous, more dramatic ones, because this look definitely calls for some more dramatic lashes. So rather than using the lights today, which is what I normally use, I would say, I'm gonna go in with the regulars. And I always wanna make sure to tightline, especially for a Taylor Swift sort of look, because her eyes are actually pretty closed in, and she very often wears a lot of liner on the bottom lash line and then also up here in the tight line area. So we definitely want to do that today to recreate her look, even though it looks a little crazy right now. And like I said, going underneath here as well. And then I always go in and blend out the liner a little bit on the bottom as well before we even put down our shadows, just to make sure that everything is nice and smooth. Then I'm just gonna pick up a little bit more of Makeup Geek Creme Brulee and just blend out this bottom lash area. As the final step for the eyeshadow, I'm just gonna take my Dose of Colors pencil brush and a little bit more of MAC Cosmetics Carbon and just place this on the outer edge of the eye. I don't want to bring this too far in. I'm really just using it to kind of connect the bottom lash line with the wing. I'm gonna add a little bit more mascara to this bottom lash line, and I'm kind of focusing on the outer portion, if that makes sense, to, yep, you guessed it, continue that cat eye shape. Eyes are done. Eyes are complete. That just took me 4 hours to do the eyes and foundation. Okay, so we're gonna move back to the face now, and I'm gonna add in some contour using an OG product, the Anastasia contour kit. So I'm gonna use this shade right here and take that on my favorite contour brush at the moment, the MAC, oh, I can't really read that, 168 I think. The numbers are like kind of worn off, so hopefully that's right. I'll link it down below. I'll link all the products down below just in case I've said anything wrong or missed anything, you know. I just like to go in with like pressing motions, and I like this shade because it's very cool tone, so it's gonna look very natural. I've actually been falling back in love with this palette. I kind of forgot about it. You know when you just like put something in your drawer and you know, you just never use it because you find other products or whatever. And then I picked this up the other day and I was like, oh my god, why did I ever stop using this? Because you know what it is? Honestly, the powders aren't that pigmented in a good way though. Like they have the right amount of pigmentation. Sometimes I feel like with some contour powders, they're just like way too pigmented, and then because I can be heavy-handed with my brushes, it starts to look crazy, you know? But like this one, I have been falling back in love with recently. And for my bronzer, honestly, I'm not gonna be using anything too crazy. I'm just gonna go in with the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil. So this is slightly lighter than the Chocolate Soleil bronzer. Still smells just as good though. But I wanted to use a little bit of a lighter bronzer just to kind of warm up the face a little bit. I really don't want to go too heavy on this product though, because I feel like Taylor usually keeps it pretty, you know, fair-skinned. I feel like Taylor always has this just very natural rosiness to her cheeks, so I'm gonna use this Bare Minerals blush. It's actually really beautiful. It's called The Natural High. It's similar to NARS Orgasm, but this one has a little bit more rosiness to it. So I'm just gonna take this, place it on the apples of my cheeks, and blend it backwards because I've noticed that Taylor does tend to do that. And we are gonna add on highlight. I don't think Taylor Swift usually wears that much highlight. It's not very apparent in any of the photos that I saw, but we gotta put a little Roxette Arisa twist on this. So I'm gonna go in with another OG product, like another product that I used to use all the time, that I used to love, that I just kind of like forgot about within my collection, but it's the Merry Loumanizer by the Balm. Such a beautiful highlight. I don't know like how I forget about these things, you know? So I'm just gonna place that right onto the top of the cheekbone with my favorite highlighter brush in the whole world. This is the Sigma Strobing Fan F42, and boom! I did want to use this one specifically because it has a really nice undertone to it. You guys know me, I usually love golden toned highlighters and like warm highlighters, but I feel like for Taylor's look, if you are gonna add on highlight, it's gotta be more on the icy light shade. I mean, not shade, I meant to say side. Blending that up and down so we get a nice little boom, boom, boom. Whew, how do I forget about these products? Like, they're so good. We're almost done, guys! I think I'm just gonna take a little bit more bronzer. I'm gonna go in with MAC Dark Golden Mineralized Skin Finish just to kind of blend out these edges because I feel like it's starting to look very cool toned and I just need a little more warmth in there. We're doing a classic Taylor red lip, and yeah, enough said, because I feel like she always wears red lips. That's kind of one of her classic looks, and whenever I think of Taylor Swift, I always think of a red lip, so definitely wanted to incorporate that today. First step is lining with MAC Cosmetics Brick Lip Liner, and up at the top here, you definitely want to make it as sharp as possible because Taylor always does that. So for our main lip color, I'm going to be using the Make It Forever Artist Liquid Matte. These are new actually. These are this is one of the new shades. This is the shade 403. These have a really good formula, honestly. They're very creamy, lightweight. They feel like liquid. Like, you know how some liquid lipsticks feel like creams, like thick creams? This feels like a thin liquid, and it's so long lasting. Yes, and I one time wore this for like, I don't know, I think almost 20 hours straight, and they still were good to go at the end of the night. And honestly, if you do not want to do a red lip and you want to do, you know, more of a nude, I think that would be so beautiful with this eye look. Like, I'm honestly kind of itching to do nude instead, but I know that like for a classic Taylor Swift look, we gotta go red. And also for the ring bearer look, she was wearing red lips, so I'm gonna have to do it for today, but just know, I wish I was doing nude right now. This is our finished makeup look inspired by Taylor Swift Ring Bearer. I'm gonna go ahead and pop on my wig and we'll see the transformation happen. And this is our finished look with the wig, with the costume, with everything going on. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and make sure to check out everybody else's video because honestly they're all super sick, and show them some love. Subscribe to their channels. You're gonna love everybody's channels. I actually love everybody's channels so much. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe to all of them. Subscribe right down below if you're new to my channel. If you're coming over from their channels, then I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys are excited for more Halloween videos, get really excited because I have this one idea. I've mentioned this already, but I have this one idea. Whew! I'm so excited for it. I'm really excited for Halloween makeup in general, and this is kind of just like a starter one, you know, if you want to do Taylor Swift. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Remember, you are beautiful and sending out. I love you guys so, so much, and I will see you next time.